Alright, everyone, welcome back to another Washing Talk. I just want to say what's up to everybody, all the OGs and some of the newcomers that are tuning into the Washing Talks. I definitely appreciate you guys' time and attention, since time is the most important thing and the most valuable thing we have in this life. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I actually had these videos 30 some minutes long. I already had a voiceover done. But I was kind of uneasy about the way I was, I guess, showing. I'm not gonna use the word frustration, but I don't believe I was getting my point across the proper way, and I just kind of want to redo it. I'm still gonna touch base on the main theme of the idea, but I don't know. I didn't like the way it was coming out. I sounded not angry nor negative, but I don't know. It just, once you go back and you listen to yourself, you're like, well, you could have said this differently, or oh, this is where I was going with that, and then I got sidetracked. So yeah, it wasn't that I wasn't necessarily mean to somebody or said something negative about anybody, but it just sometimes it's good to kind of re-listen to the message that you're trying to send. And so really what the message of it was that I came across this little post on Instagram a while back, and it was these two celebrities. I think Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott. I think they're dating. I don't know. I'm not trying to be, smart ass, but I really don't know if they're dating or not. But I think they are. And it's just in the feed, and I think it was like Kylie Jenner asked Travis Scott questions. I think legit that was the name of it, and it had over like 600,000 views. And I was like, okay, I obviously didn't watch the video. I just kept scrolling, and I was like, damn, like 600,000 views to hear what two people are doing, or the conversation. I was like, that's crazy, and kind of took me on this little path, and that was a while back, and that just stuck. I obviously I know that celebrities bring in that much attention, and that's the reason why they're celebrities. And then it got me to this next thing, which is the word celebrity. I just personally don't like the word celebrity, because it's almost like you're celebrating a human being, and I think that's my biggest issue that I have, that I'm trying to kind of show, how we glamorize people. They're human beings at the end of the day. And we glamorize some people so much to the point that we seem to be okay with whatever they do, whatever they say, and obviously that comes with the line of work that they're doing. That comes with how they are perceived by people. Just because I may not just because I may not be interested in what Travis Scott and Kylie Jenner are going to be talking about, obviously there's a massive amount of people that are, and that's fine, that's okay, but I think that's a pie to the major whole of that's a slice of the pie to the major whole of the problem that I see. And the fact is that I think some of the frustration that I was kind of trying to share was the fact that there's so many amazing people that have done so many amazing things, and to this day people are still doing amazing things, and just they don't get recognized. There's no, I'm not even gonna say just media coverage, but just in general, social media doesn't seem to be really fond of good news. It's most of the time is like there's fights or violence or alcohol and things of that nature that really, gets the eyes. Rap, we've seen with rap, a lot of good artists who rap about struggles that they've been through while, in their society, in their community. And they don't get playing time at all compared to I don't want to call them mumble bumble, rappers, or just rappers that talk about drugs, alcohol, sex. Like, let's be honest, those are the ones that seem, or a catchy tune. Not necessarily that the song is really motivational or transcending of some type of information or lyrically, very well written. It just, that's what's catchy. That's what's going to bring the ears and eyes of the people. And so I get that perspective. I understand where the whole business mentality is. But I think where I'm having a hard time kind of just going over all this is understanding how we as regular human beings can glorify and make a celebrity of another human being and then be okay with the things that they do. And for instance, what I mean by things that they do, well, a lot of professional athletes, they get DUIs, they get substance abuse cases, domestic violence, and they still get contracted the next year. Maybe some brands will drop them, but the team, kind of gives them like a 3-day or 3-game suspension. They're back in town, and obviously because they're good at what they do, right? I mean, but you and I, for average Joe, if you want to call it that way, we can't do that. You get a DUI and you may not lose your job the first time, but then if something else like that happens again, then that's depends on the line of work that you're in, and that's the crazy thing for me is just seeing that there's so much. It almost seems like, hey, the more the more you rebel, the more you are against the grain per se. An artist seems to be getting so much attention, therefore, more money, more publicity, and things of that nature. And maybe you're sitting there thinking, well, maybe you're just hating because you don't have that. And that would be a good point. I completely understand where you're coming from. To be honest with you guys, if I could be, running Automotive Anatomy with whatever subscribers we had, and I didn't have to, show my face. I don't say I have to. I do it out of respect for the builders that I've interviewed. I just think that they show their face and they're vulnerable, then I'll do it for them. Not because I want to be recognized. I really legitimate put it. I really, and don't take this the wrong way, like I'm more than glad to say hi to you or call me or anything like that. As a matter of fact, one of you guys, a subscriber, he's from Arizona, he's in Cali at the time of this recording. Super cool guy, man. He's building EF and it's a family man. And about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, man, time flies. I did like a podcast and he called in. He was nice enough to call in and we had a good chat. It was a cool chat. Ben was super nice and so he's he's in Cali, not back in. He's visiting, and he's like, "Hey, how far are you from this city?" And I'm like, "That's about an hour." He's like, "I'm like, I would be down to meet up with you and have brunch." And it's not because he has a big Instagram following. He doesn't. Oh, it's not because he has a big YouTube channel. We can quote unquote collab and grow. No, he doesn't have a YouTube channel. And it doesn't mean that I'm gonna do that with every single subscriber, but I just think that it's just pretty rad. A year and a half ago, this guy made time for me, and now he's in Cali, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I would love to meet up with you. At the end of the day, I really mean that when I say I'm just a guy with a GoPro. Like, there's nothing special about me, and a lot of you guys are able to do this. I know some of you guys are, man, putting in the work, humbly, driven. She's putting in the work. She's one of the best subscribers. Old school Rob. He uploads videos here and there, and it's cool. Noel with the Accord sedan, and I like watching those videos. I like watching people that have regular jobs and are doing this for the passion. I love watching those videos. In fact, when a channel gets too big, I kind of disengage. I don't like it. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I really don't know. And I think that's how it is with me with mainstream media and celebrities. I'd rather, have something that's small and meaningful than something big that loses the generic touch. And it's a hard balance. I'm a nobody, and even if this YouTube thing, continues to grow, I'm still a nobody. Like, I'm still a regular ass dude who doesn't know anything about cars that wants to learn. Really, that's who I am. I hope some of you guys don't call me a sellout when I get my Porsche, because I've been wanting a Porsche forever, and I'm saving my pennies. I have been saving my pennies for years now, waiting for that right deal to strike. But I'm still the same guy. I'm still the same person. And so where I try to focus my mentality in is, what is it that I'm intaking every single day? Is it helping me? Is it hurting me? You know, I sometimes, to be honest with you guys, I erase people from Instagram. When all on their story, all I see is just memes or negativity or whatever. It's like, well, it's not really helping me. And maybe I shouldn't do that, but I just don't want to spend as little time as possible I can spend on social media, the better. And if when I am engaging in social media, there's been times where I see people, post like a breaking story, right? And then I get hooked on that, then I get hooked on something else. Before you know, 15 minutes went by, and I'm like, damn, man, like I just spent 15 minutes really looking at nonsense and things that don't really help me, instead of actually focusing those 15 minutes and doing things that will benefit me. I'm a true believer that many people have very good intentions. Many people are doing amazing things, but sadly, we just don't emphasize our energy and our time with them. I mean, I see so many people growing brands. They're trying to do something with themselves, and they're trying to grow, and they're just, they don't have the following. They don't have the numbers to back them up. And one thing that really amazes me is the fact that social media is so powerful, extremely powerful, because you and I are social media. You and I are the ones that can make a huge difference. Like, if we put our heads together, and in this case, our digital fingers together and clicks, that's what makes a movement. That's what really can make a difference. And I'm a true believer that if we really wanted to help one another, we would. Instead of seeing each other as a versus. You see, like, celebrities, whether they did it themselves or they had their family ties, whatever the case may be, like, they're putting in the work. I'm not discrediting them at all. Like, I give them mad props. They're putting in the work, even if I do or don't like their work. Don't confuse that. Like, I definitely appreciate the hard work that goes, because nothing is given to you. Even if you come from a very well off family, a lot of things are given to you, but a lot of things are not. So I'm all for the people that start from the bottom, and when they get to quote unquote the top, or / quote unquote successful, whatever that is for them, they're still that same person. Obviously, you change because you kind of have to change, but not to the extent that others do. I'm especially in the car community, man. I like to believe that I look around a lot, and I observe and I see people, and Honda heads, man. Honda people are some of the most down to earth individuals. Some of them, obviously, everybody has different personalities, but I also see people that may be, driving a little bit fancier cars, and to them, that's what they want. That's fine. I've come across people that drive all these different type of cars, and some with great personalities, some with not so great personalities. Well, that's just who they are. That's why money. People say money makes a person angry or selfish or a jerk. It's like, no, money emphasizes whoever you are already. It makes things easier. You know what I mean? Like, if you're already a selfish person to begin with, you're not gonna give when you have more money, because you're not giving right now. And so that's kind of what I had in the back of my head, man. Like, treating people, they're human beings at the end of the day, man. Everyone's a human being who they've done something for themselves. They put in the work. They continue to put in the work, and I get it. I guess they've done a great job of creating a community, kind of like what we're doing. But I don't know, man. At the end of the day, I feel like if it's for something positive, I'm all for it. But if it's just seeing what gossip and negativity, man, that's kind of hard for me to wrap my head around. But I know that's what sells. That's what keeps this media in place. That's what paparazzi, how they make their money. I mean, TMZ, all these different news outlets. And for me, I mean, if that's your thing, that's cool. If you wake up and you read the news, that's cool. Like, that's just not. I'm not definitely trying to say that you're bad or that you're wrong. I just, for me, I feel like what's helped me is stay away from all that. Wake up, give thanks, um, and kind of mentally think of the goals that I want to hit for the day. Look at my vision board, and then go out and execute. And whatever that means to you, if that means for you to relax as much as you can, then go for it. Relax. We don't have to be in this hustle mentality. However, if your mentality is I want to hustle, I want to put in the work, I want to make sure I hit the sale goals, or whatever the line of work that you are. If you're a driver, man, I'm gonna make a third trip today, or whatever the case, then go for it. Whatever makes you happy. Ultimately, that's what it is. That's what I'm trying to get at. But I don't know, man. It's difficult to understand that as a society we don't help each other. We don't help each other as much as we should or we're able to. Yet this very very small number of people are benefiting from all of us, going against each other instead of helping each other. And that's and that goes with politics as well. You know, it to me is ironic that every 4 years people are all of a sudden interested in politics, and the way I look at it, and that goes for any country, not just the U.S. The way I look at it, you have two, this has been going for many years. You have two sets of people with two, they even two different colors, so you're part of a team. And it's like they shake the jar and then let them fight it. But who's shaking the jar? Who's the one who's maintaining the power by having you guys fight? Everyday Joes, we're fighting, and that's something that kind of it relates to the whole celebrity, because if you notice, it's always like certain individuals that make it to a certain level, that get those openings, they get those opportunities. Obviously, if your family gets into that, then obviously the kids are going to get into. I mean, LeBron James' son, whether he's good or not to basketball, he already will have so many eyes looking at him just because of, who LeBron James is. And LeBron is the one that put in, I guess, the first step, putting in the work. Well, some may argue, well, that's just how it works. If you got talent, you got talent. I would argue, though, that there's so many other basketball players that have so much talent that sadly did not get the opportunity. They didn't get the eyes that, these other individuals did for whatever reason. And I know, like, you can say, well, cry me a river, that's just how life is. And it's true. But like I said, this is like the space where I feel comfortable just sharing my thoughts and my ideas. And for me, I don't know where society is going. I'm not gonna say it's at its worst, because 50 years ago there was some crazy stuff happening that are no longer happening. So I'm not gonna say that now society is the worst it's ever been. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying our attention. Where's our attention going? I see a lot of people unhappy, and I think part of the reason why we're unhappy is because of the same people that we're trying to mimic our lives after. You got celebrities rappers, let's say, who are showing up bling. They're throwing money at a club and drinking bottles and this and that. And, I've been one of those people who I've never really been so much attracted to that, especially as I got older. But I see some people my age and older who still want to pursue that. They still want to have that image. They're the ones that want to pull up in the exotics and things like that. And again, that's their definition of success, and that's their definition of happiness, and go for it. But to me, it's the process. In the process, are you happy? Because if you're not, then I think that's the problem. Once you obtain whatever goal that you're trying to obtain, then you're not going to be happy, because now there's going to be something else. There's going to be another and another and another. And again, there's nothing wrong with that, but in the process, are you happy? That's, I think, the biggest thing is, like, if I was to tell you guys, do I want Automotive Anatomy to blow up? Yes and no. Yes, because I think it'll allow the channel to provide more stories to other people. No, because then that invites more people to the channel. Does that make sense? And the people that may come in based on the fact that the channel keeps on growing, I feel like that's where it really loses the community. It loses that sense of like true Honda head people in the comment section, really just, pumping each other up, really just motivating each other. And that, that comes with the territory, whether you want to admit it or not. So do I want the channel to go viral? No. Do I want the channel to keep growing? Yes. And that's, again, going back to what I was discussing in another Washington talk, not because I consider successful based on numbers. I don't. I don't focus on numbers. I don't check subscriber count. Like I mentioned at a previous Washington talk, I checked more subscriber count the first 1,000 subscribers than I've had ever since. Maybe because it was new, it was exciting. I mean, I had like 1 subscriber, 2 subscribers every other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I would look at their usernames and things of that nature, and I think that's part of the reason that I was like, whoa, like, you have to be appreciative and grateful for who's subscribing to the channel, but don't make that your goal, because or your emphasis, because then that in itself will become an issue down the road, because then you start focusing on numbers. Now 5 or 10 subscribers is not enough, because you want 20 or you want 100. And for me, that's kind of the mentality I want to have. It's okay to grow, but still know your roots, know what you're trying to accomplish, know why you started, most importantly. And so when I saw those celebrity posts on Instagram, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. That brings a lot of attention. When I see those street fights on Instagram, and that brings so much attention, I would like to think, like, what if for like a month we were, as a society, as a whole society, we're to say, hey, we're gonna uplift one another. Meaning, we're gonna get a few people together, and for the next 30 months, we're just gonna show support to their either YouTube channel, their brand, their new restaurant that they just opened up, their businesses that they're doing from their living room, where they're making little cupcakes or whatever the case may be. What if it were just to actually purchase something? If we were to share it on social media, leave a good review, things of that nature. Like, can you guys imagine the power that we would have? It's crazy, but we're always torn towards different directions. And I think we've been taught to think different and to dislike the person who thinks different than you. And so that, I feel like, I know we're getting into so many different topics here, but in essence, that's what I think. Like, we keep making a very small number of people celebrities, while the masses are trying to grow something, but we're all thinking individually, and we're not helping each other, for whatever reason. So I haven't done a live session in a while, but when I do, you guys know that I try to show some love to some YouTube channels. I don't have, obviously not a lot of people show up, and by I mean a lot. I don't take this disrespectful. 500 people, it's a lot of people. Holy crap, you guys are a lot for live sessions or for watching talks. But in the grand scheme of things, you guys know that 5 million is more than 500. But I tried to show some Instagram pages that I think you guys will get some value out of. I tried to show some YouTube channels that I think you guys will get some value, and that's that's my tiny contribution that I'm trying to provide for you guys, because you guys are the ones are making this channel. I definitely don't want to lose that sense of community, whether the channel has 5,000, 30,000, 5 million subscribers. I don't want to lose that. That's not the reason why I'm trying to do this. I'm not, if I could get a better place where I can watch Jackie, yes, by all means. I don't have to be moving the camera every time somebody comes in and out of the garage. Yes, I would love to have my engine bay, my washing bay. I would love to have a warehouse where I can park my car inside and even potentially live there. Like, we all have our dreams and goals. And you're not a bad person if you think different than I do, or I'm a bad person if I think different than you do. Um, but I think along the way, don't forget that we are here together. We are the community. We are the ones that make everybody else, grow. Why are we not doing that to ourselves? And that's one point that I like. I try to make. I try to wear other people's, clothes and brands. Like the shirt that I'm wearing, Checker Sports. He's a very nice gentleman, Raul from Nevada, and he's putting in the work. I mean, this guy builds things with his own two hands, welds, does an amazing job, and I'll put his Instagram on the description. And he makes some pretty good products, for Honda and Acuras, and he's just a one-man band. He's chugging along, and he's trying, and he's a very honest guy, and he's trying to provide the best service he could, and trying to build a business, and it's difficult, and so with the help of you guys, he's been able to grow, and hopefully we can continue to do that. The hat that I'm wearing, Hatchie Gang, there's a bunch of cool guys, man, that drive hatchbacks, not just Honda. I've seen them, roll up with some Fiestas and cars of that nature, and they're super cool people, man. They're always helping each other. They're always, shouting each other up on social media. Like, they're doing what I'm saying, but obviously within their crew, because they're trying to do it, start big, from small, and then from there grow, and it's crazy because Garza, one of the members, he was waiting for me at a Carson Coffee. I didn't know he was waiting for me. I got there late, and then I park, and literally a hat goes through like my door, and I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, oh, what's up, Garza? He goes, what's up, man? It's like, here, I got you a hat. And I was like, what? Thanks, man. So I grab it, and I immediately go to my wallet, and I give him $20, and he's like, no, he didn't want to take it. I'm like, no, this costs money, man. No. We just want to say thank you. That's a huge thank you that you've featured some of us, giving us shout outs, your coverage. I said, nah, man, you got, he did not want to take a $20 bill. Finally, some older guy grabbed it from me and gave it to him, and then, Garza accepted it. And I told Garza, I said, look, man, I understand how this thing works, man. This requires money. This is not free. Like, this requires money. By me giving you a simple $20, it really tells me, it's telling you that I appreciate you, and I appreciate the hustle that you're trying to do. That's really what it is. It's not about the $20. You're not gonna get rich at these $20, man. You know why? Because I can go and buy 2 Starbucks drinks, and that's $20. But I'd rather, I'd rather skip those 2 Starbucks drinks today and walk away with a hat from you guys. Because I understand that that's showing love, man. That's showing support. That's showing, that you appreciate what they're trying to grow. And that's just by saying it, because, a lot of people like to, quote unquote, show support when it's free. You say, hey, free giveaway, and all of a sudden all these people, they show up. But when you post your shirt, you post your hat, or you post your car meet that you're hosting, oh, bro, I can't do it right now. Oh, man, I'll hit you up next week, and blah, blah, blah. It's like that common theme, but, Nike, or, whoever, Travis Scott comes out with the new shoes that he's been working on, the Jeezys or whatever, people buy them. Oh, I got them for $5,000. Like, what? It's like, damn. Now, again, it goes back to that is the level of service that they have provided, and people believe that that's what the shoes are worth, that's what the shirt is worth, that's what whatever is worth, and that's perfectly fine. I just find it crazy that your neighbor, your homie, not even your neighbor, your homie's trying to grow a brand. Yeah, you're asking them for discounts. Yeah, you're hitting them up with like, I need a shirt, bro. And when they're like, okay, so how are you planning to pay? Venmo, PayPal, they leave you in red. or you give them the shirt for free, and it's like, damn, you're not gonna, this costs money. And so that's what it is. That's what it is, man. And that's why I really, and it's not to say that you guys are bad for not buying anything from Automotive Anatomy. Like, nah, I said it, that I consider that money completely lost. Like, that I'm not, if I was in the business of making money, shit, it'd be different. Actually, I created shirts and hats just to push myself. Just to push myself, really. I've lost so much money on shirts and, and hats, not even kidding you guys. One that I can think of, but I'm so super proud of it, is the shirt that went to Germany. The gentleman hit me up, was like, hey, would you be willing to ship to Germany? I said, shoot me your address, let me see how much it is. So they quoted me $15, I want to say, for shipping. 15 or 19, something like that. It was when the postal office was really, really slow. And I was like, damn. So I hit him up back with like, yeah, bro, just give me 25 for the shirt, and then you'll get it. It's doable. He goes, all right, no problem. And so we lost about $19 on that transaction. And I was just like, please let the shirt get to Germany, because I was gonna send him another one if it didn't. It did. He posted it in front of his Civic somewhere in Germany, and he said, thank you so much. And that, to me, man, that made my day. No $19 or whatever. But thank you guys for letting me kind of vent. I really appreciate you guys. Alrighty. Sounds good. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this Wash and Talk, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.